I want to talk about this docu-series that you've mentioned. You have it on YouTube, which right now is like the feeding ground for all video intake for basically everywhere. Um, can you tell everybody what the concept is around this docu-series, what it's about and everything?
Yeah, for sure. Well, for me, the reason that I created it was a lot of football channels, and I'm not knocking against any like videographer for what they do because it's incredible. But a lot of these kind of hype videos and documentary videos, like taking back on a game, I call them sort of one-off content
Yeah.
where you make it, you watch it, it's cool, you never watch it again.
Yeah.
I think with this docu-series, what's so cool about it is, especially for hockey, which is not that well covered in the first place,
Right.
giving you a behind the scenes look. You're going to watch this 5-10 years down the line. And a really good example I always talk about is Michigan State. Their All Access series with Spartan All Access. I still watch their hockey docu-series from 2012. And it's 2020 right now, which I don't know how it is 2020. I thought it was like 2023 at this point. Yeah, but sort of this whole docu-series is just giving a level of behind the scenes that you don't get to see for an ACHA club team. And for me, that was awesome because there's no other team at this level that does this. So it was my kind of chance to kind of find that place and find my niche. And then we're going to grow it exponentially. And already we've gotten a lot of like really good compliments on it, especially through our like recruitment form that we have on our website. So a lot of the guys that are coming in get a good access to what the program is all about. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what we want to do for the incoming guys.
I've really been intrigued with this whole idea of a documentary and a docu-series lately, just in terms of me actually kind of producing and putting something together.
Yeah.
It's been on my mind, but it was sparked again after the Dallas Stars put out their whole documentary with being in the bubble.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
which
We're
was
not going home, right?
Yes, which was so cool because I loved how they took you through each of the series and really showed you what bubble life was like. But as the person behind the camera and putting this all together, you are the director and the producer of this. What does that kind of process look like for you?
Well, for the most part, it was really harder when you didn't have games to work with. So I kind of took the big story pieces. So for episode 1, it was we just moved in.
Yep.
It was getting the team together, focusing on building those connections, and then a little practice at the end. The second episode was kind of the preparation for that first Liberty match. So that was going to be like the power skating. And then the third episode, and I got a little criticism about why it was so long, which I totally get.
Yeah.
But I think more hockey content during like this time, like you shouldn't be arguing at it at all. Like
No.
I gave y'all 20 minutes of content. Like love it, please. Yeah. But the one thing that I really did for episode 3 was I built up, because I wanted to lead up for each practice what coach was saying leading up to that game, because it was the biggest game that we ever played as an organization.
Right.
Against Liberty's D1 team. And to be honest with you, besides that second period, we pretty much played better, if not at an equal level to them. We gave up 5 in the second, sadly, but we really played well. And I kind of wanted to show how hard these guys worked for it. Absolutely. And as these episodes kind of wrap up, we have another episode coming out tomorrow. So I know once I hop off this call, I got to finish editing that up. But it's now going to be focusing a little bit more on how the guys are bonding, which is really important because we got to stay in a hotel this time around. So you kind of get to take a little sneak peek onto kind of their off day kind of habits. So some of the guys are chilling outside, just kind of enjoying the sun. Some are playing video games. So I guess a little advice for you is just for whatever documentary series you want to make or anything like that. And obviously I'm still not a pro at it. I always believe there's room to grow. There's always a chance to upgrade and, be better. But for you, it's just thinking about what kind of story you want to tell. And instead of trying to pack it all into one, you don't need to do like a full-on storyboard scene by scene, but just have a general idea before each episode. Like, okay, what is the end goal that I would like to tell in this story about this particular episode? So, I mean, if it was cooking, I don't know, a creme brulee. obviously the end goal is probably cooking and probably showing you pulling out the creme brulee from the oven. So build that up. You want to show like where you got your ingredients, how you prepped it, how long you cooked it. You know, maybe you're drinking wine while it's waiting to cook. I don't know if you drink or not, but I mean, hey, do what you do. But if that makes sense at all. So
Yeah.
it's really all about the storytelling. But I mean, if you can nail that down, it's such a fun thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited, and I like being on YouTube for 3 years now. A good part of my life has been, shared, and a lot of people know, um, the constant people that are in my videos. But I always get questions because there are maybe some gaps that people don't know about or people haven't seen. So I love digging into that part of life and what kind of happens that people don't usually see. So it's such an intriguing idea to put it in a documentary where people can like fully grasp um,
Right.
and see things.
And you give the people the opportunity to watch it over and over and over again. And that's what's fun about it.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I think we're seeing now more and more documentaries and docu-series come out because we're living in a time where people are actually like, hey, I want to tell my story, and I want it, like, I have all these creative outlets, I have all these pieces. I think I can actually put this together and really package it, like you said, package it nicely and put it out there to people.
And people have been in the house for 8 months. So people are dying to just do something interesting.
There's always content for people to watch out there right now. That's definitely for sure. I want to hear what inspires Zach. What inspires you to do what you do?
Wow. That's a tough one. I mean, for me, I guess, wow, you kind of caught me off guard there. That's a really tough question. I guess for me, it's just being able to connect with somebody,
Yeah.
being able to tell my story, being able to tell stories to people. And this is kind of what I mentioned earlier, but, um, what inspires me, especially with this hockey series, was there was that little 8-year-old me, didn't really have a ton of friends back in elementary school, but the one thing that I loved was hockey.
Yeah.
I didn't get the chance to play growing up, sadly, just because I didn't have enough money.
Yeah.
Which is why what I love the Hurricanes doing with their initiatives and trying to get as many people in the game as possible.
Absolutely.
It's so important. But when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of friends, so for me, it was all hockey content, watching these videos, kind of geeking out on my own.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I didn't have a bad childhood. I have a mom and my dad. They love me very much. I have my dog. Like, I live in a pretty nice house, and there's a lot for me to be thankful for. But for a lot of kids, that may not be the same thing.
Right.
So being able to, for a lot of people, and actually a few other people that I know very well, hockey and sports for them is kind of what carries them.
Absolutely.
So giving people this content that they're going to be able to watch when they're feeling down or feeling sad or when they're alone or bored, give them a little something to give them a little bit of hope, and maybe just 20 minutes of happiness. Like, to be able to think about that, for me, that's kind of what inspires me. I know that's like a really long answer, but
I love it. I
yeah,
absolutely love it. I think that's great, and I connect to that so much. And I think right now I think that's what everybody needs. Everybody needs that connection with people. And I was kind of the same way growing up. I was not a social kid. Like, I fell into sports, like I said, hockey was it for me. Like, that was my thing. I watched it and I felt like I belonged with a certain group of people, and still do today.
yeah.
But I absolutely I resonate with that so much.